In the late 1980s, the boxing world trembled under the weight of one man's relentless power, Mike Tyson. At the height of his career, Tyson reigned supreme in the ring, an unstoppable force whose mere presence sent shockwaves through his opponents. Every punch he threw was laden with an intensity that defied description. He was more than just a boxer. He was a symbol of raw, unyielding strength. The roar of the crowd at each bout wasn't simply for the sport, but for the spectacle of witnessing a living legend in action. His reputation was forged in bouts that left opponents sprawled on the canvas, their defeat a testament to Tyson's precise brutality. The atmosphere of any arena where he fought crackled with an electric anticipation, as if nature itself paused to watch him in motion. Tyson's personal life, however, was as tumultuous and unpredictable as his time in the ring. The same fire that drove his fists also ignited a hunger for challenges beyond conventional boundaries. It was this restlessness that pushed him to seek thrills in uncharted territories, one of which was a private escape from the relentless glare of the public eye. Known for his explosive temperament and uncompromising confidence, Tyson craved experiences that would test the limits of human strength. His life had been a relentless series of battles, both inside the squared circle and in the volatile world beyond it, where each moment promised either triumphant victory or catastrophic defeat. Yet, the allure of risk and the challenge of the unknown were irresistible. It wasn't just the thrill of victory that defined Tyson. It was the art of defiance, the refusal to be confined by norms. His battles were not merely physical contests. They were epic confrontations between raw human power and the boundaries imposed by society. Every step he took outside the ring was a bold assertion of his individuality, a declaration that he was more than what anyone could imagine. Amid the glittering fame and relentless media scrutiny, Tyson's inner drive for the extraordinary grew stronger. The world saw him as a champion, a living myth in a world that often seemed too mundane for his ambitions. And it was during this pinnacle of his career, a time when he seemed invincible both in strength and spirit, that he began to entertain a plan so audacious it would blur the lines between reality and legend. In this realm of larger-than-life exploits, Tyson's legendary prowess was matched only by his willingness to defy expectations. His journey was not one of simple victories, but of challenges that pushed him to confront the wildest elements of nature. As he stood at the zenith of his boxing legacy, a new, perilous adventure beckoned, one that would take him far beyond the roars of the arena and into the untamed heart of New York City's most exotic locale. It was here, in the hidden corners of a world away from the ring, that Tyson would test his mettle in a way that no opponent had ever dared to challenge him. Amidst the relentless paparazzi and constant flashbulbs, Tyson longed for a reprieve, a moment to escape the manufactured confines of fame. One evening, with a mix of defiant spontaneity and a craving for raw experience, he arranged a clandestine trip to the New York Zoo, accompanied by his striking and enigmatic then-wife, Robin Givens. Tyson set out on a secret journey that promised the thrill of the wild and the taste of the forbidden. The decision was both impulsive and meticulously planned. In a world where every move was scrutinized, their nocturnal expedition was designed to elude prying eyes and capture a sense of unadulterated freedom. As twilight descended over New York City, Tyson and Robin slipped away from the glare of the public. They navigated through narrow back streets and bypassed security checkpoints with the stealth of two conspirators on a daring mission. The city, usually so full of life and glaring neon lights, transformed into a shadowy labyrinth where every step carried the promise of adventure. The zoo itself, an institution that by day bustled with families and laughter, took on an entirely different persona under the cover of night. Its corridors became secret passageways, and every enclosure a hidden world waiting to be explored by those brave enough to enter. Inside the zoo, the couple experienced a blend of wonder and trepidation. The nocturnal sounds of exotic creatures, mysterious calls echoing in the distance, soft rustling of leaves, and the occasional whisper of a distant roar set a backdrop that was both eerie and exhilarating. The air was thick with anticipation, as if the zoo itself was holding its breath in anticipation of what might unfold. For Tyson, this was not merely an escape. It was an opportunity to confront the wild, to engage with nature on its own terms, rather than through the sanitized lens of televised sporting events. Robin, elegant and cautious, found herself torn between the thrill of the moment and the dread of impending danger. Every whispered conversation in the dark, every furtive glance over her shoulder, heightened her sense of vulnerability. Yet, in Tyson's eyes, burned an unquenchable fire, a determination that nothing, not even the wild unknown, could sway him from his chosen path. Their journey through the zoo was punctuated by moments of quiet intensity, a shared look of resolve as they passed deserted corridors, and a brief pause before stepping into the realm where the untamed resided. This secretive escapade wasn't just a break from routine. It was a deliberate plunge into a world that defied order and predictability. In the heart of the zoo's nocturnal landscape, Tyson and Robin found themselves at the crossroads of civilization and nature, where every shadow could hide a mystery and every sound foretold the coming of an extraordinary encounter. The night promised danger, exhilaration, and the chance to redefine what it meant to be truly free. In the midst of their covert adventure, Tyson's desire for the extraordinary took a bold, dangerous turn. With his reputation as an indomitable force in the ring well established, he sought an experience that would dwarf even his most legendary bouts. Convinced that true strength could only be measured against nature's fiercest warrior, Tyson hatched a plan to pit himself against a silverback gorilla, a creature that embodied raw, primal power. The idea was as audacious as it was reckless, and it required a gamble on every level, including bending the rules of the establishment. Determined to secure this fateful encounter, Tyson sought out the zoo manager, a man burdened by the constraints of institutional protocols, yet not entirely immune to temptation. In a hushed conversation away from the prying eyes of the staff, Tyson laid out his proposition. With a gravelly tone that mixed authority with an undercurrent of menace, he offered the manager a bribe of $10,000. This was no ordinary request. It was a challenge thrown at the face of convention, an invitation for chaos. The manager, caught between the rigidity of his duty and the lure of easy money, wrestled with the gravity of the decision. In that fraught moment, the allure of a hefty payout proved irresistible. With a reluctant nod, he agreed to Tyson's terms, ensuring that the primate enclosure would be opened exclusively for the infamous fighter and his equally enigmatic companion, Robin. The clandestine agreement, sealed with a whispered confirmation and the exchange of crisp bills, added a dangerous layer of subterfuge to the evening's events. This act of bribery wasn't just about money. It was a deliberate act of defiance against the order of the zoo, a symbol of Tyson's refusal to be bound by rules that he considered irrelevant in the face of true power. Meanwhile, Robin's protests grew more urgent as she realized the peril they were courting. Her voice, tinged with both fear and frustration, attempted to pull him back from the brink. Yet Tyson's focus was unwavering. In his mind, this was a challenge that transcended the trivialities of societal norms. It was an opportunity to test his mettle against one of nature's most formidable adversaries. As the manager discreetly unlocked the secured passageways leading to the primate area, the air thickened with tension. The weight of what was about to occur pressed down on everyone involved. Tyson's eyes burned with determination, a mix of raw ambition and a hunger for validation that only a battle against an untamed force could provide. The manager's acquiescence, however morally ambiguous, had irrevocably altered the course of the night. In accepting the bribe, he had unwittingly become a participant in a story that would blur the lines between man and beast, between law and chaos. This transaction was more than a mere exchange of money. It was the ignition of a dangerous spark. The stage was now set for an unprecedented confrontation, one that would test the boundaries of human courage and challenge the natural order. Tyson's audacious decision was sealed in that moment, and as the manager disappeared into the shadows of the zoo's corridors, the night began its inexorable march toward an encounter that would forever redefine the limits of both human and animal strength. With the bribe securely in place and the manager's reluctant cooperation, Tyson and Robin were granted exclusive access to the zoo's inner sanctum. As they stepped past the hidden doors that led to the primate enclosures, a palpable sense of isolation and intensity enveloped them. The normally bustling zoo had transformed into a silent labyrinth under the cover of darkness, a realm where each step was laden with suspense and the possibility of unforeseen danger. In that charged atmosphere, the thrill of the forbidden mingled with the sharp edge of fear. The corridors were dimly lit by stray beams of moonlight that filtered through high, barred windows, casting long, distorted shadows on the walls. Every footstep echoed in the quiet, as if nature itself were holding its breath in anticipation of what was to come. Tyson moved with the calm assurance of a man who had conquered every challenge in the ring. His muscles coiled with readiness, and his mind fixated on the extraordinary trial ahead. Robin, trailing close behind, struggled with a growing anxiety. Despite the allure of the night's escapade, her heart pounded with a deep-seated worry about the dangerous path they were treading. Her whispered objections were lost in the eerie silence of the deserted zoo, and yet her eyes pleaded for caution. Inside this secluded realm, the couple found themselves in a narrow passage that led directly to the primate habitat. The air grew warmer and more humid, carrying the rich, earthy scent of nature in its purest form. Tyson's determination, however, eclipsed any sense of foreboding. Each step toward the enclosure was a deliberate act of defiance, against the norms, against the expectations of society, and against the inherent limitations of human existence. The manager's earlier act of corruption had effectively removed any barriers, opening a portal to a world where the wild reigned supreme. As they reached the threshold of the gorilla enclosure, the tension escalated to an almost unbearable level. The structure before them was massive, its bars and gates concealing a domain ruled by raw, unbridled power. Tyson paused for a moment, his eyes narrowing as he surveyed the interior. The enclosure was eerily quiet, yet hints of movement and distant sounds promised that something significant lurked beyond the metal confines. In that brief moment of stillness, the gravity of his decision washed over him. He was no longer a champion of the ring, but an adventurer poised to confront nature in its most primal form. Robin's protests grew more desperate, her voice barely audible over the pounding of Tyson's heart. She pleaded for him to reconsider, to retreat from this reckless confrontation. But the fire of determination in Tyson's gaze was unyielding. The night was set for a battle that transcended conventional sports, a duel between human resolve and the raw, ancient power of the animal kingdom. With a final resolute nod, Tyson stepped forward, crossing the threshold into a world where only the brave dared to tread. In that moment, the quiet of the zoo gave way to the hum of imminent conflict, and the stage was set for an encounter that would etch itself into the annals of legend. Within the confines of the primate enclosure, a scene of astonishing tension unfolded. Dominating the space was a colossal silverback gorilla, its powerful form exuding an aura of command and authority. Known among the zookeepers as the undisputed alpha, this magnificent creature had long bullied its peers, its massive frame a living testament to the strength of the wild. Yet despite its fearsome reputation, the silverback's eyes revealed an unexpected vulnerability, a flicker of innocence, as if it were a child experiencing the world anew. In that surreal setting, the stage was set for a confrontation that defied logic and challenged the boundaries of human and animal rivalry. Tyson, fueled by a combination of adrenaline and the weight of his own legend, stepped into the arena with unyielding resolve. Every muscle in his body pulsed with energy, honed by years of relentless training, and the memories of countless bouts lent him an aura of invincibility. As he closed the distance between himself and the silverback, the air itself seemed to vibrate with the anticipation of imminent violence. The gorilla, sensing an intruder in its territory, responded with a low, resonant growl that sent a shiver down the spine of anyone who might have been watching from the shadows. In an explosive burst of movement, Tyson launched himself at the gorilla. His fists, practiced in the art of combat, moved with blinding speed and precision. The silverback met his assault with equal ferocity. Its massive arms swung in wide, powerful arcs, each blow a manifestation of raw, primal force. The impact of their collision reverberated throughout the enclosure, a cacophony of grunts, roars, and the thudding of flesh against flesh. It was a battle not merely of strength, but of wills. Tyson's unrelenting human determination pitted against the untamed, instinctual power of nature. The struggle unfolded like a scene from a mythic saga. Tyson's blows, delivered with the precision of a seasoned champion, landed on the gorilla's thick hide. Yet, the beast's counterattacks were devastating, its natural armor and sheer physicality posing a formidable challenge. Every punch Tyson threw was met with the gorilla's raw power, each exchange a visceral reminder of the stark differences between man and beast. The enclosure, normally a quiet haven for wildlife, became a battleground where the laws of nature were redefined by the clash of two extraordinary forces. Amid the chaos, the tension was almost palpable. The quiet murmurs of the zoo's nocturnal inhabitants and the distant rustle of leaves seemed to underscore the epic scale of the confrontation. Tyson, undeterred by the overwhelming odds, pressed forward with the determination of a man who had never known defeat. The silverback, though mighty and fierce, fought with a fervor born of instinct and survival, its every movement echoing the raw power of the wilderness. In that surreal moment, the lines between sport and survival blurred, and the battle became a testament to the indomitable spirit of both combatants. Every strike, every counter, told a story of defiance and unyielding courage. The battle raged on in a relentless dance of power and agility, with Tyson's determination clashing against the silverback's ancient, unyielding strength. The roar of the crowd, though unseen, imagined by the echoes of their struggle, seemed to resonate in every heartbeat, propelling Tyson further into the fray. In this wild confrontation, where the extraordinary met the primal, both man and beast fought with a ferocity that would be remembered long after the night had passed. As the titanic struggle reached its fevered crescendo, the atmosphere within the enclosure shifted from chaos to an almost reverent silence. Bloodied yet unbowed, Tyson's determination began to tilt the balance. The silverback, formidable and majestic, gradually succumbed to the relentless barrage of punches delivered by a man who embodied human willpower at its most uncompromising. Every strike Tyson landed was a declaration, a testament to the power of conviction over brute nature. Slowly, the wild contest drew to a close, leaving the enclosure echoing with the remnants of a battle that transcended ordinary sport. In the waning moments of the conflict, as the silverback staggered and finally collapsed, Tyson stood victorious amidst the surreal tableau of battered strength and raw emotion. His chest heaved with exertion, and the bruises marking his skin bore witness to the epic clash he had just endured. For a heartbeat, time seemed to suspend, allowing the magnitude of the moment to sink in, a moment that redefined the boundaries between human achievement and the untamable forces of the wild. The zoo, now eerily silent, bore the marks of an encounter that no one could ever forget. Robin, having witnessed the brutal spectacle with a mixture of horror and reluctant awe, rushed to Tyson's side. Her eyes, glistening with a cocktail of relief and disbelief, mirrored the tumult of emotions that swirled in the air. Despite her earlier protests, the dramatic events had carved an indelible mark on their lives, a testament to the depths of Tyson's audacity and the perilous allure of chasing the impossible. In that transformative night, as the remnants of the fight slowly faded into the shadows, Tyson's victory was more than a physical triumph. It was a declaration that even the most unyielding limits could be challenged. that the extraordinary could be wrested from the jaws of danger. The aftermath of the fight rippled far beyond the silent corridors of the zoo. Whispers of the legendary confrontation spread through the city like wildfire. Tales of a night when man dared to face the embodiment of nature's wrath and emerged triumphant. The manager, whose dubious decision to accept the $10,000 bribe had set this chain of events in motion, was left to grapple with the consequences of his actions in hushed, anxious tones. For Tyson, the victory cemented his status as a mythic figure, a champion not only of the ring, but of life's wild, unpredictable challenges. In that historic moment, amid the scars and bruises, Tyson had rewritten the narrative of what it meant to be truly fearless. The echoes of that night would forever resonate as a testament to the indomitable human spirit, a story of defiance, courage, and the relentless pursuit of greatness against all odds. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so you won't miss out on more thrilling stories. Drop a comment below with your thoughts and share this story with those who need to hear it. Turn on the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. See you in the next exciting and meaningful story.